Good morning. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Rakotoaritsa from class TI 4G. My system is a library information system using camera barcode reader. The information system is on the web and the barcode reader is on the mobile phone or Android phone. So the information system has the features of managing the books and seeing the users and adding new books and also adding new borrows or removing new borrows. Let's log in with a false email or email with which is not authentified. And with password that is not true. I failed to log in. Now I will put my true password and log in. Now the login button works. It works, and we are logged in as admin here because only admin has access to the web browser, the system. And also here we have all the borrows. Right now we don't have any borrows because we don't have any users. Let's create, uh, let's see first what are the books in here. List of the books. There are no books also, and the list of the users. Here we can see there are three users, and if we click on one user, it shows the name of the user, the email, and the address of the user, where the user lives. So here, email is considered as the ID of the user because the user logs in with the mobile phone via the email. Now we can also delete. Let's delete this user. Danlin, delete. Okay. And as we can see there, the user is no longer in here. We can also search for user using the email a gmail.com. So when we search, the user appears and we can click and also we can delete. Let's not delete this user because we're going to use this user as example. Now, when we go back to books and see a list of books, when we see all there are no books. So first of all, let's first uh, create a new book by adding. And when we do that, let's create an ID 0, uh, uh, let's say 25, for example. And the author, let's say Khalil Hesman, and behind the bars. So in here we can add an image as let's say we add a simple image, for example, barcode image, or let's say this home button image, and then we add and we wait and edited successfully. That's how we know uh, it has been created. So we go to here and we see Carl Chessman behind the bars and the idea of the book 10.0.25. Now when we click here, we have the image and the author and the title and the ID, and the ID here is translated into a barcode, so we can print this barcode. And we can also delete this and edit this. If we edit, let's say Carl Chessman man, and add a new image to this, let's say this add folder image, and we add, and we see all again. Here is the folder and Karichesman man, it has been edited. And now let's do the download. If we download this, is going to be downloaded. So we download and we wait. Here the download has begun. So when we show open, it opens the barcode. So we can print it on a real book and then scan it on a mobile phone. Okay, so that is done. And now let's delete this to show the delete and delete. The book is deleted. Now that is done. And now let's create the import. There is a format here if you want to import a CSV file with the author and the title and the ID. So let's choose a file. I have created a file here in here which has these ID, author, and title. So let's choose that file and let's choose the file. First, let's import without. So when there's no import, the import file or change the used file ID. So we have to import here, and when we click, when we go to desktop and test and OK, here the CSV has been detected and we import. Data uploaded successfully. Now we are going to see all the users, all the books. So these are all the books that we have uploaded via the import. There are 6 books that we have uploaded. Now let's upload the same thing here. Upload here before import. It shows us all the ID that exist already in the book. So those ID already exist. So there's an error message. If we still click on import, the same message opens, so we cannot import. Now let's see all the books, and let's say uh, we see this book because there was no image in the import. There is no book, there is no image, so we can edit and choose a file and choose one file in here uh, for the book uh, here, for example, or here. Okay, and we edit. And when we see the book again, here goes the image. So that's all for the books and the import. And now let's see the list of users. In the list of users, here we have one user, Fenu, at gmail.com. So in here there are no borrows because no one has borrowed the book yet. So when we add a new book, for example, in here, we add a new book and the book ID, the book ID 10,001 and the borrower email gmail.com and the return date when the book should be returned, and we add, and the data is successfully entered. Now let's enter another one with a book ID that not exist and an email that doesn't exist and a date. And when we add, the borrower email does not exist. So the email does not exist. Let's see with email that add the book ID does not exist. So here, the one that existed that we just created, when we click on here, it has all the details of the email of the borrower, the name of the borrower, the address of the borrower, and the book details. So here we have the book details. Now when we click late, it returns all the people that status returned are late. Now let's add another one. Let's add another one, 1002, and email a gmail.com and add add successfully. So now um, let's search for book ID, for example. The people who have borrowed this book ID, search a book. So it shows this. And now the people who we search by email, a gmail.com, and the search. So here are the emails. Okay. So now let's go to the list of books. There's also the search button. We can search by book ID. Let's say N9 1009 and search. And it seems that the 1009 does not exist in here. Okay, so let's say 1006 and search. And here we have the book. That's all the functionality for this website. Uh, and now we can log out. There is no functionality for create user or add user because the creation of the user will be done by the user himself when he goes to the library if he does not have any account. So we can log out. And now let's see the book management system using our Android app.
Okay, so here we are in our mobile application. So the librarian has the phone, and every time there is a book borrower, the book borrower has to log in to his account, and they can scan the book to return or to borrow a new book. So they have to scan the book to return or to borrow a new book. And they have to log out of their account and give the phone back to the borrower. Okay, so let's first, as a user, as a borrower, let's first register. So I will register with an email and password 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and my full name. Let's say Fenu Klima, an address Jalan Kembang Turi, and we register. So the register is done. We are here with our account, and we can browse. As you can see, there are three tabs in here. The first tab is there's the logout button, so we can log out, and also there's the list of all the books that are the books that we have borrowed. And here inside the delete, it is to return the book, or we can do it via image processing from the image, or via in entering the book ID. And in here we have also the same thing, but to borrow the book. So we can also do it via image processing or entering the book ID. So let's first borrow the book via book ID. So with book ID we have 5 6 7 8 as a book. So and then borrow, and the book has been borrowed successfully. So when we go here we have this book and a return date. So the next one is when we borrow the book here, let's say we want to return the book, and we enter a book that we have not borrowed and we return. It does not work because the book does not exist. Now I want to return the book that I have just borrowed, 5678, and return. And when we see there is no books here anymore. So now let's use the camera and to so the camera looks like this. We have to scan the barcode like this, and it's waiting because it sends the data to the API. Now Here we have a success, which means it has been successfully scanned. So when we see, as you can see, the book ID is 5678, and so the scan-in has worked. So we can also do the same thing with the scanning of the delete or the return book. So when we do this, we scan. Okay, and we wait. We wait for the API. So it is succeeded. So when we see in here, there is no books anymore. So that is the system, and we can now log out. And that is, thank you very much for your attention.